Hey, welcome back to Twin Cities Live at Home. I do the cooking, the cleaning, and even the mowing from time to time, but I refuse, absolutely refuse, to deal with any kind of pests. I leave that to my husband. So when we actually have to talk about it here on the show, I'm also going to leave that to my work husband, John, who's outside, still outside, with our lawn and garden expert, Mike Frattallone from Frattallone's Ace Hardware. They're going to tell us how to get rid of those pesky backyard pests. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, and it's very fitting, too, because you refer to me as a pest oftentimes, so I thought maybe I would just take this over. And yes, this is Mike Frattallone from Frattallone's Ace Hardware. Good to have you back again.
Good to have me back.
This guy's always got magic. I'm telling you, every time that he's on, people respond to us and they say, this was great advice, great stuff. So
we're not quite
really
sure why.
Well,
but okay.
You offer the great advice.
Okay.
And so this is a perfect one because people, whether they're having parties or just like to have a good garden or just like to enjoy their time outside, they want their yard to be pest-free. So we'll do the best we can.
Okay.
And the first thing that people talk about are moles, Mike, and I know that you've got just the solution. But first of all, what are moles and how do you know you got them?
You know, a mole looks like a little tiny mouse with a long nose, and they look blind. I know that sounds strange. I don't know if you can look blind, but moles look blind.
I've asked for further detail, but I'm not sure.
I don't know, they have like a long pointy nose and they kind of do this.
Okay.
I don't know that move.
All right.
It's Michael Jackson, I think. But, you know, people freak out when they see these things. You're walking through your yard and you see it, you know, kind of
ugly.
It's just gross.
Okay.
So people are constantly in our stores getting rid of mice and moles and grubs and all that stuff. And we have a lot of ways to do it.
Okay.
There's not just a killing way, there's a repellent way, there's a whole bunch of ways. But we can start, and it's going to sound a little bad, but we start with the spiking kill thing. And that's not always what I suggest. But this little device kind of, you put above where the mole is, and it kind of hammers down.
Yeah, that would hurt. They'd feel that one in the morning.
They feel that one. That's where they give you the little backache noise when they get it. They go, ugh.
Okay, moving on.
they really know that one. This is the one I like because it's less obtrusive and it doesn't kill them.
Yeah.
This is the
just
equivalent.
Just tell them, hey, get away.
Yeah, get out of here.
You're not invited to this.
This is you fill this with batteries, spike it in the ground and turn it on, and it vibrates. It's the equivalent of living in an apartment and having your neighbor constantly playing their music all day long.
You don't want to go to that apartment.
You don't want to go. It drives you crazy. You want to move.
Drives you away.
Exactly. So this thing, it's not terribly expensive. It's $25, and you put it down.
Why is that so? I mean, well,
it's just the constant vibrating. They think that it's a predator coming after them.
Oh, okay.
So they hear that vibrating and it just slowly drives them crazy.
Great.
I'd rather be crazy than dead, so I always like to do this with people.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you really just want to get rid of them without necessarily killing them, this is mole
So this is if you want to kill them. This is if you want to send them into your neighbor's yard.
Yep.
And give your neighbor
and drive them crazy.
Yes.
And this is really get them out of there. What this does, the Mole Max, is it kills the grubs. That's what the moles eat. And the moment the food's gone, the moles are gone.
And these grubs are little wormy type of
About
deals?
dime-sized worms. They look white. They're circular. They're not terribly handsome. They're not very good for your yard. That's why we sell a lot of just plain old Scott's Grub X. You put that down to spread it just like fertilizer. Golf courses do this all the time because they don't want the gophers and the moles and all the rodents. And you know, if you've ever been out to a good golf course, you don't see big bumps in the grass where the gophers or holes in the fairway. So it takes care of that. But a lot of people skip this step, and it's a very important step. You do it late fall or early fall, right about now.
Now, at the beginning of the mosquito season, we heard that mosquitoes are going to be about 3 times as bad this year because of the climate now. Now, I don't know if we've quite experienced that, but regardless, mosquitoes are always bad and annoying, so you've got something to help them out?
I do. The main thing you can do is, you know, if you have a bird bath that's filled with stagnant water, dump that water out of there and wash that bird bath. If you have, you know, a lot of people don't have tires sitting in the backyard, but if you have a tire swing for your kid or a bucket that just has water sitting in it, dump that water out because that's where the mosquitoes breed.
Okay.
But I have some other things that you can do.
If anytime you got water, get rid of that water.
Get rid of that, and that's easier. You know, not many people have 10,000 tires laying in their
I
back.
should point out, I know the things you say you're going to show us are merely things that help.
They help.
We just can't get rid of these.
Yeah, you asked me earlier, does this one really work? And I'm like, kind of.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, it's much better than nothing.
All right, what is
this? Is Raid Yard Guard. It's very, very common. If you're having a party at 5 o'clock tonight, you go out there at 4:30 and just spray it throughout your entire yard, and it will keep a perimeter, kind of a barrier of mosquitoes and other flying insects away for a while.
Okay.
It's not a end-all and be-all. You know, you see these on everyone's deck, the citronella candles.
They look nice.
It sits out there, you're having a beer, and you have the citronella candle. Basically, you end up tucking it right under your feet, and you're just hoping that that light and warmth and that citronella, you know, the mosquitoes don't like that scent. So, I mean, it looks really cool. It gives you
Again,
that
the
romantic
effect,
lighting.
okay.
Yeah. And
Better
it's
than nothing.
okay. This is probably the best one. This is mosquito beater. And this you just sprinkle around through your yard.
Okay.
If there's damp areas, you sprinkle it around, and this really works. So if you do this Friday, you can hope to have Saturday and Sunday of a mosquito-free backyard.
Good to know. How much does something like this cost?
You know, that's a $10 product. It's not very expensive.
Definitely worth it to keep the mosquitoes away, no doubt. Now, bees are another problem this time of year, too,
Bees.
and I find this to be very effective.
Yeah,
That keeps them away.
That's always good.
Yes.
A frantic really works too.
Yes. Ah, bees.
They've always loved
That'll
that.
do. Yeah.
So, you know, it's not bee season yet or wasp season, but
Okay.
as soon as we get to the fair,
Yeah.
there's just going to be a killer amount of bees. And it kind of turns on for us all of a sudden. We're not selling any bee stuff, and then bam, it's just crazy. This one
Really?
is really cool because it's foaming, and it shoots about 22 feet. So you can be a scared guy away
Okay.
and do the foam, and you get the kind of that foaming blast.
Boy, we're not going to have any problems with bees around
Yeah.
here, Mike.
What
It's
I
kind
like-
of fun. You could just kind of have fun with your friends,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
No,
well,
in all
maybe not.
honesty, keep these away from the kids.
But what's cool about it, what I
kids.
think is great, is it feels like you're covering the hive up, so they have less of a chance to fly out of there. They still fly right through this, but you know, they're in your head.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, I don't know what word I was going for, but you know what I meant. It makes you feel good. This is a trap. You fill this with pop or something, you know, sugary. Put that in your backyard, hang it out, and in a couple days it will be disgustingly filled with wasps.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, we had somebody that had heard you were going to come on talking about these backyard pests. Gail from Minneapolis wrote into Twin Cities Live. She emailed us and she said, does Mike have anything for the raccoons that are in my backyard? And I can tell you what else. I know a lot of people that are having big problems with rabbits.
Yeah, it's a constant thing in our stores. And there's one product that works really well here.
Okay.
Almost, but it's a disgusting, disgusting thing. It's fox urine. And I don't know how they get the little fox to pee in the bottle, but they do. And you pour it out of here into these little containers.
Okay.
And you put these all throughout your yard.
Just
and
hang them up?
Yep, you just hang them up. And it smells horribly bad. But fox is a predator to the raccoon and to the squirrel and to the rabbit. So the rabbits, squirrels, and raccoons fly out of there because they think there's a fox in the area.
Does it smell so bad that if you're putting this up around, say, your garden, you can't be sitting on the deck, otherwise you're going to be smelling it?
Yeah, you're just going to smell it. Or don't put it on the bush next to your window and open up your window because you're just going to get that scent inside. And once you have that scent, it doesn't go away. I mean, you got to be really careful. Don't pour this into these little bottles in your kitchen because when you spill this, you're going to have no raccoons in your kitchen.
I'm just trying to imagine the kid that goes to school and they say, what does your daddy do? And he said, well, he boxes this.
He's a fox urine salesman.
Yeah,
I know my kid's real proud, I can tell you that. But there's a couple other
it's
things.
effective, though. You
It
say,
is.
very effective.
Deer and rabbit repellent, ready to use. It's called Liquid Fence. We sell a lot of this. You spray this on your plants, your ornamental plants, things you don't want the pests to eat. And this is a really, really horrible scented product, but it really works well. We sell a ton of this.
Fantastic. Mike,
Thank you so
always
much.
some good advice. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. Mike Frattallone, always with great advice. And, of course, you can get any of these products, too, at Frattallone's Ace Hardware. Well, coming up a little bit later on Twin Cities.